Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Cho Boyman, Executive Director of Texas Alliance for Life. Welcome to this week's TAL Update. I hope that the few minutes my staff or I spend with you each week can help keep you informed on the important work we are doing to protect life in Texas and beyond. Thank you for tuning in. This week, I want to focus on Wednesday night's debate between Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris and their answers regarding the life issue. On the potential confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett, moderator Susan Page asked Senator Harris if Roe v. Wade were overturned, would she want her home state to enact no restrictions on access to abortion? In her response, Harris circled back to the Supreme Court and claimed we are too close to the election to move forward with a nomination and confirmation. However, this is simply untrue. Donald Trump is currently the President of the United States with constitutional authority to make a nomination to fill a Supreme Court vacancy. The Senate has the constitutional authority to confirm that nomination. The Constitution does not limit the time frame. Senator Harris then addressed the abortion issue being of specific importance to that nomination when she said, "There are many issues here. There's the issue of choice, and I will always fight for a woman's right to make a decision about her own body. It should be her decision and not that of Donald Trump and Vice President Michael Pence." Senator Harris should turn to established science. It is a settled biological fact that an unborn baby's body within a mother's womb is not that mother's body. Each unborn child is a separate individual with unique genetic makeup. That has been established for decades. Taking the life of an unborn baby's body in the mother's womb destroys that baby's right to life and tramples on his or her bodily autonomy. Additionally, when Vice President Pence mentioned that Biden refused to answer the question in the presidential debate about whether Biden and Harris, if elected, would pack the courts, he then asked her directly where they stood. Senator Harris ducked that question yet again. What does it say about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? That they are not denying that they'll attempt to change the rules if they don't like the outcomes. While it's unlikely that any attempt to extend the number of justices on the Supreme Court would ever pass congressional approval, it's a huge red flag that their pro-abortion extremism would lead them to such lengths. We believe Vice President Mike Pence represented the Trump-Pence ticket very well in his answers on the sanctity of human life. He said, "I couldn't be more proud to serve as a vice president to a president who stands without apology for the sanctity of human life. I'm pro-life. I don't apologize for it. And this is another one of those cases where there is such a dramatic contrast." Joe Biden and Kamala Harris support taxpayer funding of abortion all the way up to the moment of birth, late-term abortions. They want to increase funding to Planned Parenthood of America. Now, for our part, I would never presume how Amy Coney Barrett would rule on the Supreme Court of the United States, but we'll continue to stand strong for the right to life. Frankly, none of us can presume how Amy Coney Barrett would rule on the Supreme Court. We can't predict the future. There are no crystal balls here. We can only hope that she'd be willing to give Roe v. Wade a fresh look if the time comes. We are grateful for a president and vice president who unashamedly stand for the sanctity of human life. The future generations of this country rest in the hands of our candidates. We must vote like human lives depend on it, because they do. On that note, be sure to check out the Texas Alliance for Life Pro-Life Voter Guide at prolifevoterguide.org and share it with your friends. Early voting begins on Tuesday, October 13th. You can even print out your personalized guide based on your address and take it with you to the polls. We urge you to vote for Donald Trump, but every race is important. We encourage you to go all the way down the ballot and let your voice be heard on every candidate. Thanks again for tuning in. Hope to see you back here next week.